Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. Okay, so I hope I finish in this video. I want to. I'm determined. Technically, I could have probably tried to finish it in the last one. And tried to make that video slightly longer. But I don't think I would have been as motivated to talk than as if I tried starting again. I do hope that I can film the wig, because I really want to make and style a wig properly and really nicely, but I think I'm gonna fail at it. So I'm really just concerned right now, because I spent like an hour trying to detangle that wig, and I still have not gotten like remotely anywhere with it. Basically, it's just on a hook, mostly tangled still, with one braid. so much worse than I want it to be. But I watched a video and realized a lot of people, when they are making an updo on a wig, they tend to add filler instead of just fibers, because it makes it look like it's more hair. And that way I don't have to tease as much of the wig working, because I keep clicking buttons and stuff, and I want my subscribers to know that I really do see it displayed. So if any visuals do get cut, I'm looking at it. What is I'm looking at? Isn't it supposed to go to what I'm recording? I don't understand why it wouldn't. It should show exactly what you'll be seeing. But it seems to not be working, and I don't understand. And I've tried every form of troubleshooting, and it says issues, 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 but there's no issues. I even did like troubleshooting. Everything came with a check mark, which is baffling. Like, any ideas? At this rate? Other than just pretend like it's not happening? Just ignore it like I was previously. Except my computer keeps flickering at me whenever I do that, and I'm just like, oof. Stop yelling at me. It's like at work whenever I'm doing anything, and then at the end of the night, I'm not always having a team member online. Usually I'm by myself online. And then I just have to really just worry about it on my own. I missed a few 8s. When looking for details in diamond art, it is a little bit tedious, and you do have to go back and forth between gems, because you're very, very likely to miss a point eventually and have to go back and forth, which is why I always recommend doing smaller sections. I tend to do bigger sections because I get so annoyed if I have to switch between certain numbers too often. There was actually a point in time where I would just rip off the plastic entirely and just start and see what happens. I would keep the plastic, like, in general, but I would mostly just take it all off. Because I didn't want to deal with it. Okay, I got all the 3s in this area. Now I have to do them over here. I did half. That's a 3. The thing is, 3s and 8s being slightly different colors bothers me because of the fact that I keep finding more 8s that I just missed. So I'm just gonna put them on the desk. Fill them in as I actually see them. So that I don't lose them again. Which is actually a good idea for anyone who ever wants to do diamond art, is have multiple trays or just put them on the table and not care. You just have to remember the colors. If you can remember multiple things at once, do it however is easiest for you. I genuinely try to make it easy as possible for me to switch between numbers because I'll inevitably miss one, though I do move them to be just up and out of the way so I don't potentially put my hand in it. That's a 3. Okay. I want to start a peep, cause I think it would work perfectly fine. If I do this, hopefully things go well. Have you ever wondered what it's like to feel hunted? That's not a normal question. Like when you're playing hide and seek or manhunt, they're both the same premise. The only difference is the time of day. I remember I was playing with this one kid and everyone was like, he's gonna win so fast if it wasn't for the fact that he had his orange hoodie on. I'm just like, wow, what a thing to say about a person. But I also kind of like was really competitive, so I'm like, I think I'll hide the best because I'm small and I can hide in sneaky places. Yeah. Hmm. I do hope to finally finish this diamond art and glue it together. It will go with the rest of them. I have a lot of diamond arts. Oh, a project I need to show off, the fact that I did so much of it off camera. This is, beautiful stitching. I did that so evenly but yet so unevenly at the same time. And I love it so much. But I should have filmed the process because y'all voted to see me make a plushie. But the only part I'm gonna record is the hair. The body. I just start crocheting because it's really relaxing to do because I'm touching fluffy yarn and it's a sensory thing. You will never get to witness how I made most of that. But I think I was also really just still upset at it getting called a jellyfish. So I just kept crocheting it off camera and was just like, nope, you're not gonna get to see this process now. All because one person ruined my day. Which is really vindictive, like. But you know, I'm I'm apologizing now for not recording it. I'm also not frogging it to just record it. Something I think about is, what if every single time, like, one person was hiding in a hide and seek game, and then every single time a person found them, they had to hide with them and join the hiders team until the last person found them, and whoever was last lost. I also remember I tried to teach people how to play games from my childhood, and they would fail at doing it because I'm bad at explaining rules. And it just would not work. People would try, and it's like an improv game, but they just would fail at playing the different ones. And it's really boring when, like, people don't have enthusiasm. But I think a lot of writing teachers just wanted to be drama teachers, but weren't allowed to. Though I also had a teacher low-key bully me in elementary school. They were really mean to, like, me and a few other students, genuinely because we had no interest in drama. I don't understand what their problem was. And then there was a point in time where I was just genuinely angry that they existed. But it was mainly because my parents were divorcing and I was just having a full breakdown. The only reason I wasn't even trying in school for a very long time, I wasn't even wanting to do the schoolwork, was because I was just feeling so isolated. Because I lost my childhood friends and my group. And usually people find their childhood friends, they stick around, and they stay friends with those people until they're an adult. Well, I did not get that same opportunity as a kid that others talk about a lot online. Because my parents' divorce made me move around a lot, and so I never really got to stick with the same groups. And I would just make friends with people who had interests elsewhere. And it was really difficult for me to make friends. I'm socially awkward, I don't understand people, and I've never understood social cues. So I was always feeling socially isolated in the first place. And to describe the feeling of social isolation, it makes others think, wow, those are just bad people making you feel like that. And I'm like, no, they're really supportive people. My brain just sucks. Because both my parents are completely supportive and they're like really nice, awesome. Yeah, sure, they have their downfalls, like drug addicts. Like all drug addicts have. But they were still there. They were emotionally there, they were physically there, whatever I needed them to be, they would be there. Of course, my mom always had the physical of just wanting me to be exactly like her because she was angry at my father for existing. I don't know. Crazy people things. Because sometimes she just texts me a paragraph of things that mean absolutely nothing to me. It feels like she's having 10 conversations at once. And it's crazy. It makes me feel like I'm going mentally insane. But I can't do anything about it, so I just have to pretend like it doesn't exist. Anyway. Oh god. Sometimes my computer stresses me out. Sometimes you feel like you're doing your best, and then you still fail. And that's okay. Which is why I like to openly share that with you guys. Of whenever I have issues. And what these issues are. Because I'm trying so hard for y'all to make something decent to watch. I know I'm not the most interesting person, but I still try. I know I had like a lot of funny things I could talk about last episode. Oh my god. Do you ever just have like an itch in the deepest parts of your brain? Oh, I don't think I have any Q-tips over here. Oh, just, what? Oh god, damn it. You know what? I didn't break it. That's all that matters. When it comes down to color theory, a lot of colors do look very different next to each other. I still don't understand why there's like this color down here. Like, I understand blue and orange work really well together. Because despite being on the opposite side of the rainbow, they look complementary. They complement each other. They make each other pop more. But I wish there was more green. There's like no green in this. The stems are not green, they're more brown and orange. All of it's just so like dead looking. Like, the pretty flowers look slightly dead to me. And that, if you were to plan a wedding, what would you put in the wedding? Imagine going to a wedding and seeing them mud wrestle each other. Like, there's no white dress, no. It's just a brown dress because they're mud wrestling. It's no longer white. And everyone's just getting covered in mud as they read their vows and fight each other to the doom. Watching people fight in general is really boring to me. Wrestling in general and being a part of it is kind of fun. What's your regards on pineapple on pizza? I personally don't like it when my pineapple is savory. Like, I understand pineapple and ham, pineapple and pizza, it makes sense. And technically, flavor-wise, it's not that bad. I would never order it on purpose, but I tried it once. It's really not gross. It's just not my cup of tea. The texture and the vibe is just off. I love pineapple separately, and I don't want my pineapple warm. I want my pineapple to be cold. Imagine it was illegal to put pineapple on pizza. You could eat them separately, but if you bought or tried to buy pineapple pizza, you'd get, like, arrested. Imagine that was a weird, like, secret universe. What would happen? I remember I was reading this one story where they had the only way for them to be able to live in, like, peace is by putting, like, what is it? Making, like, a tinfoil room for themselves so that they can feel free. The trackers are off and stuff. Imagine living in a dystopian society that tracks your every move. And the only way to feel even an ounce freedom is to surround yourself in tinfoil so you could remember who you are. Because otherwise, you're completely brainwashed and just follow along with society. And the only way to get ahead is to take down others. Which is a little wild of a concept. But I kind of like the concept, so it's okay. All of them have, like, bare heads, so it's really entertaining to read. Because you just see a bunch of furries the whole time. I remember at one point I used to do Pilates because I always saw the exercises as, like, simple enough to remember. but also difficult enough to where it actually exercises me. But it's also stuff I can do while sitting down. The only thing that makes it comfortable for me to actually exercise and stuff is if I can be sitting mostly when I'm doing it. Because I'm on my feet all the day, I want my feet to be off the floor. And I have to be in bed mostly because I don't have any rug to put on, like, or yoga mat to put on my floor to be gentle on my spine. Because I have back issues, which means laying on hardwood hurts. Because my protruding spine and boniness makes life miserable. Which is okay, but I also would rather not deal with that issue. Sometimes when I'm running around work, though, I'm completely out of breath. Like, I don't have the ability to smile because I'm trying to breathe. Mopping just wins me somehow. But it's maybe because I'm doing it a little quickly. Because I want to get it done and over with. Because I want to go home. Oh, that's a... There was just a lone 7 in the wild. Building organic creatures with, like, pixels is really hilarious to watch. Because it just looks so odd. The curvier something is, the weirder it looks like pixelated. Something I think about a lot is how a lot of the people I went to high school with had kids very early on, and none of them are married. Most of them are not. And it's mainly because people in my generation just don't have the money to get married. And then people who are still single are just in limbo because some people want flings and that's why they stayed single. And then the ones that are deep romantics and want full connection with people struggle immensely because so many people just want flings. The likelihood of me sleeping with someone, even after like 20 dates, is less likely than me flirting with them in the first place. I'm apparently really good at flirting, though. I've been told this by quite a few different people. Apparently, I'm decent at flirting. I don't do it on purpose, though. I don't do it on purpose ever. One of my favorite facts is, if you like spicy food, you're most likely a kinky bitch, and are likely to be a fan of the term "punish me harder." I feel like a lot of people in the goth community, though, also are a fan of those terms. Ooh, we're getting there. I think I might actually finish this within an hour. That's how long I film for, by the way. I only film for an hour for each of the segments. And it's mainly for the fact that I don't like to record very long. But apparently some people can find an hour to be a very long time. I don't think so. I find it a very small amount of time. Sometimes I make myself seem like a really big asshole. Something I know, though, is if I ever did genuinely hire an editor, I would hope I'd be making enough to afford that one day. But until then, I'll take the free option because I make absolutely nothing from my channel. And until I make something from my channel, I will find any other way to edit my videos. Even if it means AI. Because it's doing okay, right? I mean, I've watched them back. I think they look okay. I do make sure it's not cutting out parts of my dialogue that I find interesting and important to tell my subscribers. But what can I do other than just advocate for my invitation being important? Something I realize is I'm quite slow at certain activities, but I'm really fast at others. And I remember one of my commenters being like, "Wow, you crochet really fast. How long have you been doing that?" And my answer being like, "I started like a week ago at one point." And that was my answer, and them just being like, "What?" Like surprised Pikachu face. Now it's been at least half a year, I would hope, since I started learning how to crochet. So I'm getting way better at it. I do. At one point, I posted the map diamond art to my TikTok as like its finished piece. And TikTok was like, this is offensive and it's getting reported. Because AI thought it was worse than what it was. And my only thought was, it's just the map of the world. What is wrong with a map? And apparently they just don't want anyone to know where they live or exist. Imagine being so brainwashed by something that you can be convinced of anything. I think the main reason I was a fan of Abraham Lincoln as a child was the fact that there was so many like really cool movies with special effects with Abraham Lincoln in them, which I have no idea why there's so many Abraham Lincoln movies. There's Abraham Lincoln as a vampire hunter, there's Abraham Lincoln as a zombie hunter. Like, what is it with authors of movies and putting Abraham Lincoln in these situations? What did he do? I feel like I'm missing like an inside joke or something every time I see Abraham Lincoln doing some wild shit in movies. Our 16th president might not have been the best. According to a few history books, he freed the slaves. Some of them say he freed them by accident. Some of them say he did it intentionally. I just think they wanted the war to be over and we're just done with everything. But they also lost a bunch of their like children in the war. Anyway, I fully completed the diamond art. It is beautiful. Peace, love, have a good night, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!